Welcome back to my channel. So you may have noticed things are a little bit different. I'm trying the whole backdrop thing. I've had this backdrop, except the thing is, it's too short to fit. It's too short, so the backdrop doesn't cover my entire vanity here in the back of me. So I'm actually sitting on the floor right now because that's how I'm low enough so the backdrop doesn't get cut off at the top. So yeah, I'm just chilling on the floor and trying a new setup. I don't know how this is gonna work. I'm already getting a little squirmy, but we'll see. Anyway, today's video is going to be part 2 of my little series that I'm doing. It is a back to basics, 3 different tutorials on 3 different parts of the face in detail. Last time we did brows, which is what I usually do first, and so what I usually do second on my face is the eyes. So we're going to do a step-by-step tutorial on how to blend eyeshadow, which is very exciting. I know I'm very excited because eyeshadow is my favorite thing in the world. I'm an eyeshadow collector. Some would like to say connoisseur. Some, it might be me. And I have so much eyeshadow. It's just my favorite thing in makeup. I love trying out new formulas, trying out new colors, new color combinations, new different styles. It's just, I feel like it's where the artistry really comes out. So I guess that's why I like it so much. Because you know, the brows, the foundation, it's like the same old thing each and every time. You try different products to change it up, but it's really the same process. With the eyes, you can just change it up every day, use different colors every day. So I just like how it just really sets apart everyone as individuals. So we're going to help you find your individual look today. Let's get started. Let's get right into it. The first thing you always want to do with any eyeshadow is prime your eyes. And by the way, I already did my brows and I put a little bit of foundation, not a lot, a little bit of base makeup, a little blush, powder, just so you guys can sort of get a full effect of a finished look once we're done. Because it's weird to see sort of like fully done eyeshadow on a bare face. You can click on literally the last video I posted on how I do my brows. It's going to be part 1 of this series. It's also going to be linked down below. And so what I do next is I always prime my eyes with something. You can use an actual eye primer. This Smashbox Photo Finish Lid Primer that I have right here. Or one that I really love that I've been using for a long time is MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. These paint pots have in a bunch of different shades, and this is the first one I ever had. I had another one after this, but you can see it's completely used up and gross. But what's good about these is that they completely dry down once they're on the eye. So you don't have to set it with any powder. Even though it goes on creamy, it sets and will hold any eyeshadow beautifully all day and have a nice clean surface to blend eyeshadow over. I just realized I have 2 box lights and I've only had one on the entire time. Go Jojo. I'm going to take this lid primer and I'm just going to put it on my eye. Just make sure you get all over. I make sure I get completely underneath the brow and in the inner corner because I do put eyeshadow there. Typically, you'd want to lay a light color. You can also, to prime your eyes, use a concealer. But usually when you use a concealer, that needs to be set with powder because it doesn't dry down. And if you blend shadow on top of a product that's still wet, it's going to do weird things. It's going to skip, it's going to be patchy in areas, and it's just not going to blend well, it's not going to hold, it's just going to be a big mess. So you want to use a very light color. A color eyeshadow that's the same color as your skin tone. Like, if I was going to do that, I would use, like this one here. But because I use something that dries down, I have to do no such thing. Typically, an eye primer will dry down, but a concealer will not. But if it's like meant to be an eye primer, it's typically, not always though, meant to dry down. If it feels really tacky, that can be good because it will keep shadow on longer, but it can also cause skipping problems. It sort of depends. You have to sort of play with that and figure it out. But the primers that I mentioned will dry down, and you do not need to set it with powder. Anyway, first color you want to go in with is going to be something that's either the same color as your skin, not quite the same color, a tad off or a tad darker, but still very light. I'm going to go in with this color right here. It's by the brand Makeup Geek. It's called Creme Brulee. You want to get a brush that's very fluffy and taper it out like this, because that's really going to deposit products evenly throughout the eye. I'll link down below this brush as well as a couple of other brushes that are like this, so you know what to buy. So you're gonna watch me dip. Oops. You're gonna watch me dip into the pan. I'm just gonna go once and then tap off the excess, and so I'm gonna start lower into the crease, but then I'm going to blend upward and sort of just blend it out all around my eye. You're going to start in back and forth motions to apply the color like this, and then do windshield wiper motions upwards like that. And you can see right there, the color applies evenly, no patchiness, and we're good to go. So the next color you want to use is going to be something darker than the first color we used, but not dark, if that makes sense. So the one I'm going to go in with is this. This is a color by Anastasia Beverly Hills called Morocco. Very warm brown. I'm going to take this color with the same brush. When I do this, I'll typically use the same brush. This is going to be what we call the main crease color. The previous color, what we did is the transition color. This is going to go in the same area, but we're going to actually see it on the eye as opposed to the other one. The reason why I put this color on, it's going to get covered up, but it's going to just help everything blend a little bit better. That's what I like to do. People will like to go on with a more pigmented color like this one first and just blend it out, but I find it easier, especially for beginners, to go in with that first lighter color, just so you have something for the other eyeshadow to blend into. We're going to take the same amount and again go back and forth, and then circular motions to blend upward. And then you want to just have less pressure on the brush the higher up you go. Ugh, filming on the ground is really hard, you guys. I don't think I'm going to do this again. I'm going to figure something else out, or just not have a backdrop, or get taller things. I don't know, but this isn't working. I'm really struggling to concentrate. And at this point, I would switch to another brush. This is the Mikasa E320. It's very fluffy and tapered, but it's a little bit smaller because you want something to get a little more precision. You can do it with the other brush, but you'd have to just work a little bit harder to be more precise. This one will sort of do the work for you because it is smaller and just you get a smaller area on the eye. I usually go in with a bunch of colors in my crease to get a lot of dimension, but because we're going back to basics and we're just doing the basic of most basic things, I'm going to show you how to get a look with just one or two. I'm going to take the shade called Bada. right here. And this color we're going to put just in the outer portion of the eye. And we're going to blend it upward, but we're not really going to take it that far above the crease. It's going to be a more defined line, but it's still going to be blended, if that makes sense. Like this. And you might find that that color is too high, or you lose some of the other color and you want it to be more prominent. So you can take the other brush again, and you can put more product on it or not. That mirror's not working. And just blend over top of everything to make sure there's no harsh lines. So you can see this is a very basic, defined, smoky, smoked out eye. I'll show you guys how you can build that up in the crease a little bit more. I'm going to take some of the same color and just go back. And this time, however, I'm going to sort of just put it where the color is. So I'm not really going to start it in the crease. I'm going to put it a little bit higher than that. This is going to give us just a more dramatic version of what we already had. Sometimes I just want more color, and I want like both the colors to be together and not just like one color dominating the other. So I'll take some. Could define it further. You could leave it like this, or you could define it even further. To define it further, I'd probably take a very small brush like this. You could use this brush again. It just depends on how defined you want it to be. This will make it more blended, but this will make it really sort of like a harsher black line. So I'm going to take some black here and I'm going to just apply it right into the actual crease. And with a brush like this, you don't really want to blend with this. It's not really going to do much. It has no blending powder. The brush like this that's really stiff is going to just apply it. And by the way, this is the Mikasa E310. You can then take that second brush we had and blend. So you can see that line is defined. An eyeshadow like this is all about going back and forth. So it's like if you want more brown, put more brown on there. I was going to do a full eye, you guys, but I feel like eyeshadow, I want these like to be really detailed, and also I don't want to be filming on this floor. I'm sorry. I just don't. So I think I might just stick to eyeshadow right now. And then we could do like eyeliner and eyelashes, because eyeliner and eyelashes could be their own videos, honestly, especially if you get like fake lashes involved into the mix. Definitely want to put something on the lid. You could put a matte color like this like light shade, but if you want to put a shimmer, you'll want to use a brush like this, a more flat brush that's definitely packed together. Synthetic hair is better. The other brushes I used previously were more natural hair. Those are better with like distributing product because it applies less product at a time and allows for things to be blended. But you want synthetic hair that picks up more product and lets it go, doesn't absorb anything when you just want to really pack on color. And for the lid, you definitely always want to pack on color. So I'm gonna go with this gold one called the Glamorous. And I like to put 2 layers because that really helps colors. Sandwiching colors together like that helps with longevity. And sandwiching colors in the crease will also help color last longer. So that's another reason why I like to do that as well, I should mention. See, something like that. Now, if you want a shimmer to be more shimmery, you can always do that by wetting the brush. And you can use water, but it's better to use a spray. One I like to use, it's not that expensive. Pixie by Petro Glow Mist. I'm sure I mentioned this many times on my channel. It's good for spraying your face instead of taking that powdery look off your like foundation and powder. It's like a finishing spray and gives you like a glowy effect, and you can do it under your foundation to give you a glowy effect as well. So I'll give my brush a couple of sprays. It's applying much more metallic. Sometimes with the lid, you want to, once again, go back with the other brush you had. This is the second brush we had, and just blend things together. Now, there are certain areas of the eye you want to highlight. One being the inner corner. I want to use the palettes in front of me because it's easier than just grabbing what's in the back. You can put a shimmery shade here, which is what I always like to do, or you can just take a light color, like the one you used if you set your face with concealer, and a brush. See, I've been using for the inner corner these like Techna brushes. It's the only use I can find for this brush. I guess you could use this in nose contour too, but I don't really do that much. But you can put this in the inner corner of your eye. Like that. For the under eye, you definitely want to use something more precise. Like, this brush would be good, but I'm just going to use this. You want something smaller with more precision, but I think I can get away with using this. Because I like to sort of take it onto the brow bone and then also blend it a little bit into the color. I'll always apply liner in my waterline before I go on the under eye. Use this muted green. This is Zodiac from Urban Decay. My favorite liners are Urban Decay, Makeup Forever, but a lot of drugstores have really affordable liners too. L'Oreal has really nice ones, so does NYX Cosmetics. I know a lot of people have issues with their waterline, getting the pencil in and their eyes getting watery. If you have that issue, you're definitely going to want a liner that's more pigmented. Make sure the liner is pigmented because that means you're going to have enough product deposited in less time. So you won't have it in for as much time and you won't have to like constantly be going back and forth and irritating your eye. So definitely look for a pigmented pencil. In general, you want it to be, but especially if you have very irritable eyes. I'm just gonna go across. That was really sloppy. Wow. I'm gonna line the top because I'm gonna show you guys something I do in place of like regular liquid liner. That's easier to do. So I just did top and bottom. Looks really messy right now. We're gonna blend it out. I want to show you guys how to clean brushes. You can get a brush spray, a makeup brush cleaner. Elf Cosmetics, it's a really good one. This is like $3. I've been using it for a long time. It's great. Works just fine. I'm using this one because I just happen to have it, but you don't need to like spend money on a spray like this. Definitely go the drugstore route. Something else, I can't find it. I'll leave a picture of it on the screen. It's called a color switch. It's like a little wire sponge, and you can like brush your brush back and forth, like get excess eyeshadow off. Really helps in a pinch. It's also really bad for lazy people like me who never want to clean their brushes because then it gives me more an excuse to never clean my brush. Yeah. So I'm just gonna spray. You're gonna use the same colors. I mean, what I also would totally do is put a pop of color on the lower lash line, but because keeping this neutral, it's for beginners. want to do all neutrals. We don't want to do the color. And right there. Also, guys, I'm getting a new camera. Did you see me trying to go into the other eye when there's no eyeshadow there? Lol. I'm getting a new camera, so my video quality should be better, and I just should be like more willing to do things with my between like creating looks and taking pictures, because I'll have good quality photo to make my work look as good as possible. So that's good, because the next video I do, I think, is going to be with a new camera, and we'll hopefully get this situation set up, figured out. I want to include a backdrop, but I don't want it to be like this. I don't like filming like this at all. I really don't. This is about the makeup, Jordan. Get it together, Jordan. So yeah, I put Morocco, and then I'm going to take the darker color, Bada Bing, underneath. I'm going to put it closer to the... And once everything's off the brush, I'll just go over everything together. Make sure it's homogeneous. And then I'll actually take some of that, and I'm going to run it on the top to do sort of like a smoky liner situation. Sometimes you can find you want your under eye to be more blended, so take a clean brush with nothing on it that's fluffy and just run it underneath. It's going to soften the edges. That's really pretty much it right there. I'm going to do the other eye, and then I'll put some other things on my face to be more complete, and I'll be back. So what I did the other eye, I put on some mascara, and I just threw on a lip, just to get like the full face together. But I did want to show you guys one more thing. If you want to get your eyeshadow more even, you can sort of take a light color, and a fluffy brush would be preferable so you can blend it out. And just take it like, pack it right there, and then just blend it downward. As you can see, that creates a really nice sharp edge. So if you're into that, you can do that. If not, you can leave it more blown out like this. I could show you guys one more thing, why not? If you want to see what like a shimmery in a corner looks like, I'll just take Revolt, which is a really shimmery silver. It's not the silver, it's not the color I would use for this look, but you guys get the idea. And it's not just me being lazy and not wanting to grab more palettes, it's that all my palettes are behind this backdrop, and like, I could knock the backdrop over, trying to get palettes. I almost did that like 20 times, so I'm trying to not, you know, just, but you know, that could always just be achieved by having the freaking palettes out you need to begin with. But yeah, we're gonna figure something out. But that's just like a little inner shimmer, you can get the idea. I'm just all over the place, so I'm gonna get off the floor. And say goodbye to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this hot mess that you've seen today, subscribe, share it to the world, share it to the children, and take care. Bye!